Hello, let's try that again. Hello and welcome to another Two Wheels and a Conspiracy Theory. Hope you guys are all okay. Let's just concentrate for a sec. This can be quite a nasty corner. Sort the old mirrors out. Yep, that's one. And that's two. So yeah, hello. You should expect I've got my little topical sorted. But first, I just wanted to sort of on the fly discuss one of the things that has seriously hurt any attempt at trying to find out what's going on in the ufology area, and that is one program. One program has made it almost impossible to tell what is real and what is not. And I'm sure quite a lot of you have had exactly the same problems that I have when you've jumped on YouTube. There's a certain program that many people use to create whatever they want. And I probably don't even have to mention it, but I will. And that is... oh my god, I've just had a spaz moment. I've actually got Photoshop. There we go. Thank you, brain. Yeah, through Photoshop, there's no real way to tell what's true and what's not. I think the best example of what I'm trying to say is, if you imagine you're a non-believer, you're driving in your car. It's a nice backward area, lots of fields around. You see something land that kind of makes your heart race. You look at it and you just think that's not normal. That's not from around here, that's all. So you grab your camera, video camera, whatever you've got at hand, you take the shots, feeling quite chuffed with yourself, you then put it on YouTube. And that's when it begins. The two biggest comments that I've seen for these sort of things is it's either too clear, it's too HD, or it's the exact opposite. It's all blurry. What's this? Now, if you had a massive cover-up underway, a global conspiracy, and you wanted to try and cast doubt on anything that is actually genuine, Photoshop really would be the perfect tool to have in your arsenal. Now, if you've been researching like I have, let us know in the comments if you feel what I'm saying has any credibility to it. Do you think I'm way off the mark, or is it just another little tool? Of course, the other tool is the paid shills. I'm sure everybody knows what a shill is by now. Somebody paid, yeah, actually paid to discredit your work. You know, irrespective of what field it is. If it's something that certain people won't shut down, then they'll actually have paid shills looking out for your stuff. It's a crazy world we live in. The best part is, I know I'm not alone in my thoughts. another one of those rides where I've got absolutely no idea really where I'm going. Do know I need to pull over somewhere. I wish I could be one of those bloggers that could chat about what it is they want to chat about whilst riding. The trouble is I tend to have more information than I can actually remember, hence having to stop and read my notes. I've actually spent the last couple of days looking into what it is I want to talk about today. And obviously it's no secret because it will probably be on the title, and that is eyewitness testimonies of people that have seen UFOs. And what I tried to do was give it a little bit of variety, so, you know, not just airline pilots, or try to find, I don't know, different people from different walks of life. Possible, I think. Just down here. Like, looks like I'll have to go back. Might even end up being my normal spot. That's it, come on, after you two. Here we are, Wednesday, midweek. The downhill climb has begun. And a 30, blimey. Let's pick up my speed a little bit. There we go. Didn't realise I was going that slow. So again, it's just such a nice day just to be cruising. This turning will be us. Three. No, not worth it. just as a little thought, if there's anything that anybody would like me to talk about, feel free to drop me a comment, and if I like it, I'll give it a little bit of my time and do some research on it. Could have pulled in there, look. I see it. Here it is. Oh no, that's actually someone's not there. That's it, directly at the bottom. As long as that car's not there, that oh, he's look. No one in there. Right, welcome back to the normal spot. Wow, that was a bit of a journey. Right, as always, just grab the old notes. Okay, so I've actually already started a little bit. That was the Photoshop bit, so let's just collect myself a sec. Okay, here we go. So, if we can't rely on video, how can we gather evidence about the UFO phenomenon? Thankfully, kind-hearted pilots have risked their reputation by going on record and told the public what they saw. These people are in the sky often. They know the difference between a drone, paper bag, flare, swamp gas. You get the idea. Here's an account of what 3 pilots from different walks of life reported. Okay, so the first one is Kurt Russell, obviously a very famous actor, and what he witnessed was the Phoenix Lights. Not that he knew it at the time. So here's what he had to say. Kurt was flying his son to see his girlfriend. He was on approach to the airport and he saw 6 lights over the airport in absolute uniform in a V shape, which, as we all know, was the craft that was had the Phoenix Lights. Okay, his son said to him, "Pa, what are those lights?" And he told his son, "I don't know what they are." And Kurt's son asked, "Are we okay here?" And he replied, "Yeah. I'm going to call it in and report it." Control told him they didn't have anything on their radars. Kurt said, "Well, okay, I'm going to declare it's unidentified, it's flying, and it's 6 objects." So they landed, and Kurt dropped his son off and flew back to LA. He didn't speak of it again, but 2 years later, Goldie Hawn, obviously his wife, was watching a TV show when he got home, and the show was on UFOs. He hears the show in the background and starts watching it. That event had over 2,000 people see it. It is one of the more famous ones now, but obviously I'm guessing you probably know that. So he's watching it, and he feels a bit like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters, thinking, why do I know this? And it's not clear to him. And finally, they said on the show, a general aviator pilot reported it on landing. He never thought of the event again since it happened. And he said to Goldie, that pilot, that was me. He went over his logbooks, and there was the flight at that time. So nothing too specific on that one, but, I just found it quite interesting. Okay, the next one was from a military video of an unidentified aerial phenomenon. UAP. Apparently it's the new way of saying UFO. I still like UFO personally. The video's been declassified and approved for public release. Footage was taken aboard a US Navy a18 Super Hornet. Here's the pilot's words talking to the weapons systems operator, trying to make sense of what they were witnessing. Okay, the video that you actually see is all filmed in infrared. Okay, so here we go. Here's the little dialogue. It's a drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots out of the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not a... And then it says inaudible, but I think we can probably guess it says UFO. That is another inaudible word. Well, if that's a... Look at that thing. It's rotating. The video then goes on to show the objects recorded by the pilot's IR camera to be oblong in shape and appears dark against the bright daytime sky. After a brief period, the object suddenly and instantaneously accelerates to the left out of view of the sensors at what appears to be unprecedented speed. Now, I think if we had crafts that could only be seen with infrared cameras that can travel at impossible speeds, chances are it is reverse engineered from crashed UFOs. Or if we don't, then it's not ours and is a UFO. As always, you decide. Okay, the third and final testimony is from none other than Gordon Cooper, the astronaut Gordon Cooper. Okay, so his testimony starts like this. Well, these objects kept coming over, flying the same kind of formation that we fly in our fighters. We were flying in Germany, and we were flying F-86. They would come over and do the same manoeuvres that we made, except once in a while theirs would go zip, meaning dart off in a certain direction that defies our ability to fly. He carries on saying, you just can't do that in a fighter. The sightings were with vision and no radar, and he says it started when a weatherman was tying a weather balloon and he saw these dots with his binoculars. That started getting people out and looking at him. We then decided to put some aeroplanes up and see what they were. We couldn't get them. They were higher and faster, so we couldn't tell if they were large and long, ways away, or close and small. They were definitely flying in formation. And he goes on to say that this was in 1951. And he also says the Russians didn't have that kind of technology. They were flying in formation, very definitely under positive control. Their shape was a typical saucer shape, double integral, metallic looking. I think they were definitely piloted vehicles, each one with a pilot in it, and very definitely in communication with each other, because they would have flights that crossed each other and under each other. They had to be in communication to be coordinated. Then he says again, yeah, every once in a while one would zip off to the side and do a lateral manoeuvre. They move to the side very easily. And then he goes on to say this, which I believe must be a different account. He says, the UFOs that they found over Clear Lake, California, now they sit there in formation, then whoosh, straight up. I think they were actually extraterrestrials flying them, no doubt about it. There is more to this testimony, and it can be found on full on Serious Disclosure's channel under the title An Astronaut's UFO Experience, Gordon Cooper. So to end this video, I will say, if like me you want to find answers, look to the many people who have gone on the record with what they have seen. Now obviously not everything is a UFO, but also not everything is a weather balloon either. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.